Well guys, it's been a couple of days, so kind of sorry to jump ahead a little bit in the project, but as I iterated in the first video, it's really not a how-to, as everything in here is basically custom one-off. So what I'm doing may not necessarily fit your particular needs or what kind of system you may want to use. So there's really no reason to show you every single little step-by-step thing that we've done so far. But I'll bring you up to speed on where we're at today. The driver's door is pretty much completely done. We ended up going ahead and just covering these with some upholstery. Turned out really good. I'm fine with it. I really still would have rather have this whole thing wrapped and glassed, but again, I screwed up along the way. My bad. I went ahead and mounted the crossover right here on the door because, like I say, they are kind of pretty. I mean, they got this clear plastic cover on them. There is some adjustments on here that you can make for the tweeter output. But anyway, like I say, they're just pretty. So I just wanted them to be seen. Later on down the road, we may go in here and put some LEDs just up in the corner of it, just to kind of light it up, you know, some low light ones. Anyways, so this door is all wired and everything. We got the tweeter mounted up on the top of the pillar right here. Let me show you what's going on back here. This is where we're going to start mounting the amp racks. More about the amplifiers though. Let's get into that. We've mounted all our power distribution right down here. Of course, each one is fused. It's going to go out to the various amps, and then we have a central ground distribution point right here and our central power point right here. Okay, so originally, let me talk about the speakers again, just to bring you back up to speed. These are DS18 shallow mount 10-inch subwoofers. They are dual voice coil. I screwed up when I bought these, and I bought the wrong ones. I bought dual 4-ohm coils. I should have bought the dual 2s, and here's why, okay? Let's jump back to the amplifier. Sorry, we're going to jump back and forth a little bit. This is the amp that we're going to run on the subs. This is an Alpine MRD. I believe it's called a 501 or something like that. Let me look on the cover so I can get the exact terminology here for you. Yes, MRD M501. Okay, here's where I screwed up. That amplifier will output 500 watts monoblock single channel at 2 ohms. Okay, I screwed up when I bought the speaker because I cannot wire these in to be a 2 ohm system. All right, because these are dual 4-ohm voice coils. So the best I can do is I can wire these in series so that I have an 8-ohm speaker and an 8-ohm speaker, and then I can wire those in parallel and I drop it back to a 4-ohm load. If I wire these voice coils parallel, I will drop this speaker to a 2-ohm load and I will have a 2-ohm load. And if I wire those in parallel, it now becomes a 1-ohm load. The MRD 501 is not 1-ohm stable, all right? So even if I wired those back in series, I'm still going to come out to be a 4-ohm load. So the lowest rating that I could get would be to come out at a 4-ohm load. This amplifier will only put out 275 watts at 4 ohms, okay? These are nearly 1,000 watts a piece, so we're going to be way, way underpowered. So my bad, my fault. I screwed up on that when I ordered the wrong speaker. Not a big deal. We're going to pick up a, I've already looked, DS18 actually has a 500 watt monoblock amp that is 1 ohm stable. We can pop these out, rewire that connection real quick, and we can turn this into a 1 ohm load, and we can run 500 watts on these. So it's not a big deal. It's just going to take a little bit different amplifier. And not that they're the best thing in the world, but I was just trying to keep everything Alpine, just that way they kind of all matched. All right, so anyway, the top amp right here, that's an MRV, that's a T420. That is a 2-channel amp, and that is what's going to be running the focals in the doors. So right now what I'm working on is obviously getting all the wiring done, and I've still got to kind of measure out for the RCA cables to run from the amps up to the head unit. They are going to be quite long. There's a lot of turns and stuff in here that need to be made. So that's kind of where I'm at in the project right now. Let's walk over here to the other door, and let me show you what's going on over here. It's kind of rainy here today in Southeast Texas, wintertime again. It's like 75 degrees, raining, humid as nobody can believe, and the mosquitoes again are out in force. So anyway, what I'm working on now is, again, I got the 1-inch mounted up there on the A-pillar, and I'm getting all the wiring passed through from the inside into the doors, terminating it out here. I've got to run one more wire still, so basically I have my main feed coming, that's, well, going to be coming from, whatever you want to say, from the amplifier over there, the T420, and then this one right here coming from the tweeter up here, which is going to go to the crossover down here. Yeah, a lot of jumping back and forth here. So anyway, like I say, we mounted the crossovers right there. So this I had pre-wired already, so I've got that hooked up to the woofer terminal, and then we'll terminate that wiring through here onto the tweeter. And then I've got to run another wire still from for the DS18 sub over to the 501. I've still got to upholster this one right quick. Doesn't take long. It wasn't hard to do, and it looks okay. I'm fine with it now. I'm a little happy with it. Again, I still would have rather had it fiberglassed and painted them, but yeah, it is what it is. So that's what I'm working on now, is getting all the wiring passed through between the doors. And that was a son of a gun, because the wiring harness from the original door and everything like that is completely sealed way up into the dash. That was a little bit of a boop. Anyway, so that's where we're at now. A huge mess. Getting all the amps wired up, maybe by this evening. I don't know if I can find some RCA cables long enough here locally. We can get the head unit plugged into the amplifiers. Instead of walking all the way around, I'm just going to hop over this mess right here. Oh man, I got so many interior pieces and stuff strode around all over the place here. Anyway, we have everything powered up. I mean, all the power wires, all the grounds are all done and everything like that. That main power center down there, the positive and the negative, both go directly out to the main battery bank, so we won't have any drop in voltage at all. And if we go ahead and power the head unit on here, anyway, see, we got both amps, everything's all lit up. That was one thing pretty cool about the 501s. They have a built-in temperature display, so you can keep an eye on the amp, make sure you're not overdriving it or whatever, which we're not going to ever be overdriving them. I mean, we're only running a 4 ohm. Well, actually, I don't even know what ohm load we're going to be running technically, because, again, as I was explaining, the way the subwoofers are wired, they actually come out to be about 7.2 ohms for each speaker. So let me do the calculations right quick, and I'll tell you exactly what the ohm load's going to be. Well, I should have remembered that from basic electricity and Ohm's law, that we have two identical loads. So we have 7.2 ohms and 7.2 ohms. So if you have two identical loads in parallel, the total resistance is going to be approximately 50% of each initial load. So anyways, our ohm load is going to come out to be somewhere around 3.6 ohms, so a little less than 4, a little more than 2, obviously. So we won't quite get 500 watts out of it, but we'll get a little bit more than 275. So hey, if we can get 300 out of it, well, we're still going to be far, far underpowered for a 1,000-watt speaker. So we're going to have to change that one out to a 500-watt amp that is stable at 1 ohm. So anyway, like I say, that's kind of where we're at now. Just a big mess. Got everything powered up. I'm just trying to finish up this last door over here, and it's now pouring down rain again, so I'm gonna have to get everything closed up. But I got to get this door panel upholstered, get all the speakers mounted back in it. We get the last wiring run, and we will be ready to fire this dude up and at least have some front speakers playing. So I'll catch y'all up in just a little while. And well, that was the first 100 foot of wire. So we'll have to run to town right quick and get some more wire. We still got to run one from here all the way again across the truck still, all the way up to the MRD 500 for the passenger door sub. So anyway, let's go get some more speaker wire. God dang, man, it is pouring now. Bail out, bail out. Woo. Oh boy. That'll be it for today, folks. Yep. Welcome to Southeast Texas in the wintertime. From raining to bright sunshine. All right, so hopefully one last final time here putting this door all together. We got all the wiring ran from the amplifiers to the individual speakers. Got the tweeter mounted up there on the pillar. So anyway, that's where I'm at now. Just getting some few connections left. I still got to get the subwoofer put back in, get that screwed down, and hopefully we'll be well on our way to last step. We'll be running the RCA cables from the head unit over to the individual amplifiers. So anyway, we'll catch y'all up in just a second. We get the speaker put in and then moving right along. We go. Well, it's all wired up. It's all powered up. Anyway, let's see if we can see how she sounds.
This is a sound check. Loud sounds ahead. Please prepare yourself. Subkick test. Checking subkick response. Feel the...
Well, we got it all hooked up.
Yogesh, schedule kar.
Testing speakers. Left side only. Now, right side only. Both channels active.
So it's just some royalty-free music on YouTube for like doing sound checks.
Bass sweep incoming. From low to high. Extreme pressure across the range.
It's definitely got some rumble in the jungle. Anyway, it sounds pretty good. None of the amps have been tuned. None of the radios have been tuned. They are literally, everything is just set in the middle. So we got a lot of adjusting to do with the DSPs and the amps and everything to get all the sound settings right and everything like that. But everything works. That's the main thing. It's just a sound test right now. It goes all the way from the lowest frequency to literally to the highest frequency. And like, sounds pretty darn good.
System locked. Main track starting now. Subwoofers ready. System ready. Performance unlocked.
So even way underpowered, like I say, we're only putting out 275 watts to the subs that I had them. They're 1200 peak, 600 RMS, and we're only putting out about maybe 275, 290ish to them. It rattles pretty good in here. I got a lot of stuff to figure out where all the vibration and stuff's coming from. That's for darn sure. You'll find every loose nut and bolt. But anyway, it sounds really good just for everything to literally be just defaulted to right down the middle on the sound settings and stuff and the amps and everything like that. But anyway, that's it. Got the doors done. We can at least listen to the stereo now going down the highway and with the phone Bluetooth to it and everything like that. And then next project will be, I still got another set of focals that got to go in the back right there. And like I say, I still got 4 dual voice coil 12s that are going to go underneath there all the way in the back. There's a little compartment underneath there that's not really useful for anything. So anyway, we're going to put the 4 12s back there. But I'm super happy with the way it turned out. It actually sounds pretty darn good. So anyway, get all this powered up. I got a lot of junk to clean up in here. There is a mess. Trim panels are still out everywhere, and but anyway, that's it now. Phase 1 is kind of done, and we will get started on phase 2 here pretty quick. See y'all soon. All right, well, we only thought we were done. Anyways, so we talked about the amp situation where it is not rated for nowhere near enough for the DS18. So it only actually puts out 270 watts at 4 ohms, and we have 600 watts here, 1200 peak. So we're gonna go ahead and do away with the MRD 501, and I went ahead and picked up another Alpine. This is an A60M, and as you can see, it can do 600 watts at 1 ohm, 600 watts at 2 ohms, and then of course once we double the resistance, we get half of the power basically, or pretty darn close. So we're gonna pop that amp out right quick, pop this one in there, we're gonna pull the speakers out, we're gonna rewire these in parallel, and then that will drop us down to a 1 ohm load, and we'll be able to do 600 watts. We'll be back. Alrighty, so it is time to get started on the back focals. And the factory speaker, they just come out, this cover over the factory one just pops off. And then once you get it off, this is what you see. This speaker right here is just simply mounted to the adapter plate, just like that, with those 4 existing screws. So what I did was I just put the factory adapter plate back on it with the 4 original screws, and we are going to, this is a piece that I had left over stock. What we're going to do is, these are, they're nominally 6.5 inch, but they're just slightly off from that, like actual measurement. These are just a Focal Access Series 165 AS. It's a 2-way component. Not component, I'm sorry, it's just a 2-way. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to take, again, we're going to turn to the circle jig, and we're going to cut an adapter plate. This is just a bit too small, so we're going to have to make a little bit bigger one that'll fit exactly in here. And that way we can utilize the factory mounting basket, and this will just attach down to this. And then we can just, we'll cut the inside out, we'll mount the speaker in there, and be done. We can round off the edge right here with the router bit. So it'll look really nice. And when we get done with these, I have plenty of fabric left over like we used on the front door, so I'll just cover this whole ring. We'll pop it up there, we'll permanently attach it, and then the center will be cut out, and then we'll just mount the speaker onto that. Now, running the wire for the back is going to be a little bit trickier because this is solid right here. There's no way to get access down to the bottom of the sleeper cab. So we may have to end up getting real creative to try to fish our wire out way over here. We can go behind this ducking so we can't see it. Although on the other side, we do not have that ducking. So again, I will have to figure out how to get real creative to try and run the speaker wires. I would utilize the factory wires going to the speaker, but well, you can't see it up in there, but it is really, really tiny wire. And we want to have something with some meat to it, essentially, so to speak. And Volvo has a passion for using nothing but orange and white wire for everything in the truck. So I would have to go up to the front up there. The factory amp is mounted up over the passenger door, and I would have to, I could just jump these 2 wires and literally ohm every single wire up there until I figured out which 2 go to here, because I haven't found a reliable source to get a pin out of what speaker wire goes to where on the amp. So we're going to get creative. We'll figure out how to fish our own wire through there and everything like that. So anyway, first step is to get the adapter plates made that holds the speaker in there really, really well. So back to the routing table. Perfect. All right, so we'll flip it over. We'll mark our holes for our factory, where the factory holes were this mounted to the back of the cab. We'll mark those right there, and that'll be the ones that we will counterbore so that the screws will sit flush, and then we will go ahead and we'll drill out a big hole in here, and then we will go ahead and get the inside cut out. Also, so we'll take our, sorry, blocking the view there, we'll take our factory focal ring here and we'll mark that on there as well. And we'll outline the center of that. We'll get that cut out, and then we'll pre-drill these to where the mounting screws are for the focals, and then we'll move right on back into the truck and see how they fit. We'll be back. All right, so we got one cut out here, and let's see how she fits. Pretty darn perfect. Yep, just like that. So it fits exactly on the inside of it. All we gotta do now is cut out the center and duplicate it, and we'll be on our way. All right, so once we get it all cut out, we end up with something like this. And so I've marked the, I just marked the centers of the factory holes. That will end up there. We'll countersink those. Those will get screwed in. That'll hold this piece in. That'll hold this piece in. And then our focal adapter ring will go on there. And then that will go on there. And that'll all get screwed together, and we'll end up with just like that. So, time to get in the truck. Man, I hate this time of the year. It's only 4 o'clock and it is like completely dusk already. By 5 o'clock, it'll be pitch black. Anyways, catching back up to speed here on doing the rear speaker install and the VNL 730. What we did was, to reiterate again, we took the factory speaker and the factory adapter out, which just goes in here, just like this, all right? These little stands right here literally just snap into these, there's recessed slots right here. They just snap into there, all right? So what we did was we took the factory template out. We took the old circle jig and we cut out this piece right here, which fits exactly inside this ring right here, all right? And then what we did was we took the 4 original holes, which, let me get down here, which are these right here, 4, which correspond with the 4 mounting holes. And we have drilled these holes so that they fit just like this, all right? So see, they fit in those factory mounting slots where those were right there originally. And then we counterbored these so that the screw will sit flush with the adapter plate ring here. And we're just gonna take some screws here and go down in through here, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna screw the ring down to the original adapter back into the factory slot right there. But since we counterbored the holes, this screw is now going to sit completely smooth flush with the adapter plate. All right. So let me get that mounted up in there right quick, and I'll show you what we're talking about. There, just like that. And then our new speaker will literally just sit down in there. Boom, just like that. And then we will be able to screw our new focal to the wooden adapter here, and we'll fit into the factory holes. So we'll get that done now. All right, so we got the factory speaker now screwed down to the adapter ring. And we're gonna pull all this back out because, I mean, we still have to run the wiring, but we'll pull it all back out, and then I will cover these in upholstery. I'll probably have to shave down the OD just a little bit because the upholstery will take up slight bit of room in there, but we still want that adapter plate to fit really snug in this factory ring. So anyway, it's gonna be something like that. So there we go, some focal components, or not components, I'm sorry, I keep saying components, that's the front ones. Anyway, some focal 2-ways to go in here in the back. And then we have, like I say, we have another T420 Alpine amp to go onto these, to drive these. But anyway, I'm going to duplicate this ring over here for the other side, just like that. And then we will move on to trying to fish the wiring through here and get the other amp mounted. And anyway, we'll be back. God, see what I mean? 2 minutes later, pitch black. God, I hate this time of the year. Well, we got everything hooked up. Everything is powered up. Anyways, we mounted the other T420 over here behind the passenger seat. This one is what's running the back speakers. And I've just got the amp set as full range for right now. No filtration or nothing in it. And then, of course, over here behind the driver's seat, as you've seen, is the other T420 for the front speakers, and then the Alpine monoblock for the front subs. So I'm sure YouTube will flag us for this because they flag you for absolutely everything. But anyway, let's see how it sounds. Sounds pretty good. Maybe not. I mean, it's just an instrumental, so maybe they won't flag us, but I'm sure they will because, again, they like to flag anything that's music, but... Oh, yeah. Sounds pretty good. I've got it just Wi-Fi to the house, which is way away, so I keep losing signal, but anyways, we're just going to get out of that. So anyway, it sounds pretty good. So that is kind of sort of stage one of the whole system install, was just to get kind of the inside, the highs and the mids and the lows and all that stuff hooked up. And like I say, we've still got the subs to go, which the factory subwoofer is right here. There's a grate right here, and it comes in from the back. I might utilize that space and put one of the 12s right there, and then we can put two more over there. I'm not sure where the fourth one will go. We may end up putting it, I don't know, in here somewhere. We'll figure out something. But anyway, we got 4 Type R dual voice coil 12s still to go in here somewhere. And that'll be kind of stage 2 of getting the really low lows and the big booms in here. But got the old mini split cranked up today. It's pretty cold outside here in southeast Texas today. But batteries are doing good. The lithium batteries have been doing great. I've been out here playing with the stereo all morning, and we're still at 13 volts, 99% on the batteries. And but anyways, like I say, she sounds pretty good. I haven't cranked the truck in a couple of weeks. So anyway, let's see if we can get it to fire up here. Oh yeah, bust right off. That's what we like to hear. Got to get plugged into it though. I have a light on here for traction control. I'm sure it's an ABS sensor on one of the drive axles or somewhere that's bad. But anyway, that's it. Stage 1 of the whole audio install. And looking forward to getting the rest of it done in here. And again, it wasn't a how-to because everything in here is one-off custom. It may not work for you the way it worked for me, and you may have a completely different idea. So, when we get started on the subs, we'll bring y'all along for that, and how we get that designed and how we make all that work out also. But we'll see you guys down the road somewhere, and stay tuned for more HDT projects coming up. I never did really share this, but we finally got our, we got some LED whips for it. Let me get these turned on right quick. These are pretty cool. They're wired up in conjunction with the turn signals. And then also, let me find the brakes down here. Anyway, if you hit the brakes, so that's pretty cool, especially at night. There's no excuse not to be able to see the truck at night. That's pretty neat. Anyway, that's it. HDT project number 416 completed. And, well, move on to the next one. Plenty more to come down the road. We're going to be headed out here in the next, I think 2 weeks from now. We're going to be headed out to California for the King of the Hammers race. And I've been invited to crew on another race truck out there again this year, so we're going to head out there and get that done. And then when we get home, we'll get started on some more projects. Anyway, see y'all guys down the road. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on this ride with us. And if you're subscribed, thank you so much. This is just a work in progress of our journey through the HDT ownership. And if you're not subscribed, hey, that is entirely up to you. It is your choice, but I would really appreciate it if you would hit that little button down there, as it does help us try to figure out that crazy algorithm called YouTube.